We are back. Welcome back to the RSL Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie. I'm here with my co-hosts,
Oliver
and Ethan.
And yeah, we got a quick episode coming at you. It is Monday night. We are looking forward to bringing you some news regarding RSL. We had a great, some would consider great, some would consider bad, but it was an interesting game this Saturday. RSL faced FC Dallas. Yeah, we got a busy week. We got a game Wednesday. We have an important interview coming up on this podcast as well, and we also got a home game back on Saturday. But how are you boys doing?
I am doing great. We had a great watch party for the game on Saturday, and it's so fun watching with the boys and just really getting into the game. And we had like a great pizza oven and it was an amazing night.
It was a pretty hectic game, but I'd say after it, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good. First half.
How are you
Yeah,
doing,
pretty
Charlie?
good. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to record. We're back. We're going to give you 3 episodes
We got
this
a
week,
busy
so
week, man.
it's
Busy
going to be
week.
great. RSL Corner. Make sure to follow, tell your friends, subscribe on the YouTube, give a rating on Spotify if you're feeling generous.
Do it.
But yeah, we're ready for a fun week ahead of us. I guess we'll get right into the lineup for this last Saturday's game.
All right, so starting in the back, just going to mention his name because I know a lot of people are pissed at him. We got McMath,
It's a
3.8
dangerous word, brother.
3.8
Just
thought
kidding.
mob rating. All I got to say. Starting in the back, we got McMath. On the left, we're starting Catranis this time. In the middle, no Vera because...
He had
Back spasms.
back spasms.
Yep, thank you. We got Quinton starting for Vera and Galad as well. Brody on the right. Defensive mid, we got Ojeda and Anelli. I love them both. We got Luna on the left, Crooks at attacking mid, Gomez on the right, and Chicho at number 9.
Solid lineup.
Definitely not our best lineup of the season.
And the thing is like Philip Quinton, he started some games, and it's like, I don't feel like super stressed. It's obviously like a little bit less than usual, but like going into this against FC Dallas, who just played a U.S. Open Cup game, like I thought they were going to be more tired, but it looked a little different.
I recognize I feel like we're trying a few new things, especially defensively with Catranis, Quinton, and Brody all starting at the same time. It made me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, so going back to that U.S. Open Cup game for Dallas, they did win that game pretty easily, and their 26-year-old Croatian star, Pitar Musa, rested that game. So he didn't even play that game. Jesus Ferreira picked up a knock, so he didn't play in this one. But I don't know. I feel like going into this game, I was pretty confident. There was a lot of surprises this game, which we'll get to. But with their lineup, it wasn't too concerning. Areola is really good. I didn't realize he played for the American national team, which is pretty cool. But
And I didn't think he was going to play. Like, he's been
Yeah.
hurt, and he played.
Yeah. I saw him injured at the beginning of the game, and he started. It made me very surprised.
yeah, so let's just jump
I
right
thought I was a lot more confident going into that game beforehand. I thought we would
me
even
too.
with home field advantage. I thought we would not destroy them, but I thought it would definitely be very
You mean away? We were away.
yeah home field advantage for them.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, like, the thing
I thought
is-
it'd just be very dominant for RSL.
Right, and I'm like so confident about going away, but we have had struggles in Dallas, and I'll just jump right into the first half if that's okay.
Yeah, let's
we
do
were
it.
making our way into Toyota Stadium with some cooling down breaks as well with that hot heat, but we got right into it, and I don't know, these last 2 games for me, I've just felt like the other team has just been really
Hot off
dominant.
the start.
Like Peter Musa had so many opportunities. Surprising he didn't get 1 goal.
Again, it's
Yeah.
our first 20 minutes. It's always so nervous.
It's always
Yeah.
scary.
I feel like we were doing really good. McMath was making some amazing saves. He was doing good. We're playing great defense. And in the 45th plus 4, a little bit pretty late into the first, there's an own goal by Zach McMath, and it becomes 1-0 Dallas. And that goal just, man.
I need a better view on that because I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it went between his hands
He
or it
like
just
was
hit
stopping it and it just like slipped through. But like he slowed it down. It just popped
know,
through
as-
right through his head.
As a I wouldn't say elite, but as a professional goalkeeper like that, that is stuff that you practice catching balls, jumping up from the corner
Yeah,
to catch
and-
it and go
and
on
you
the
wanna-
attack. And
And
I
he
feel
should
like
have
that's
caught it
stuff
right
that
in front of his
cannot
face because
Yep.
his face would have saved it. But he caught it like to the right of his face, so
He didn't really put any of his body behind it in case it went through. And
yeah, it was really unfortunate to concede that one. Because,
Yeah.
But I feel like going in the second half, we weren't too worried. I know they were coming off hot, but like we didn't think it was going to be the game that it turned into. But I felt confident as an RSL fan,
I mean,
I don't get scared down 1-0 anymore.
I don't
especially
either.
after something like that where it's like not a technical like defensive error.
Seeing this game and last game, like where we concede goals to defensive errors or a goalkeeper error, it doesn't make me nervous because I mean RSL, like last game we had like two kind of defensive errors. The first one definitely was a defensive error. It did make me nervous going down 1-0 because I was like, okay, well, we didn't really concede a goal to them making a beautiful team play. We just conceded a goal because we screwed up. I feel like we'll get one back. We'll get two back. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I agree. In that first half, just man, it's like I'm just so bummed that they were able to score. We were looking so good, but
I know.
I don't know. We had some really close chances. That Chicho chance that hit the post was really good.
I know.
There were a couple. We hit the post
could have
twice
put that
or
one
three
away.
times that game.
Yeah, Andres
It's just-
Gomez had a good strike into the post too.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go right into the second half. First half wasn't too as eventful as the second half, but 48th minute comes around. They get a nice ball across. McMath comes out, and the Dallas player actually gets a really good shot, but it comes off Glad's side. Really good like goal line clearance, I feel like. After that game, I was getting a little worried. I was like, I don't know, man. Like we got to be careful here because it was scary.
And I thought our defense stepped up. Like Glad and Brody made some amazing defensive
I think
saves.
Yeah.
so too. To
Yeah.
get punished like that when our defense is doing so good is kind
Yeah.
of demoralizing.
Then
It
again,
is.
Musa in the 50th, so 2 minutes later, gets right past McMath, gets a nice ball, chips it right over McMath, and Brody with an amazing goal line clearance. It was the save of the
Save
game
of
from
the game.
And
RSL.
then didn't Glad do it later as well?
Well,
Or was
Glad
it-
did it earlier. That's what
Glad did
I
it
just talked
earlier,
about.
Sorry.
But yeah, Brody did that. But like after that, I feel like our mood was just down. We were like, just.
we're gonna
we were
we're gonna
worried.
concede so many goals if that's
Yeah,
that's
it was
happening,
ugly.
Kinda.
But then like 51st minute, Luna gets a pretty good look. He was like really debating when to shoot it. He goes far post from the left side. Not the greatest shot, but it definitely kept the keeper on his toes. So I do like that, but I think maybe just being a little more decisive there could have led to a better opportunity. But I like Luna taking that shot.
I think it's good to see Luna taking shots more because I trust him a lot, and
Yeah.
I love seeing him shoot the ball.
I agree.
But I will say, some of our players did not have good games, which Charlie will get into a second
Yeah.
with the subs coming in.
Yeah, but then right after that, 54th minute, a great. It looked like a cross from Gomez and ended up hitting the crossbar. Remember that shot?
Yep.
I thought that was gonna float into the back of the net.
That would have been a banger.
Yeah, it's brutal because like even like previous this season, I feel like we can get what we want RSL. Like compared to last season, it felt like we were just like hoping to be like bailed out on a goal. But like as I'll go into the goals, it feels like we can just find those opportunities a lot. It feels like we can find those opportunities a lot easier, and when we want them.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
100%.
it doesn't feel like we get bailed out a lot. Like it's kind of them that keeps getting bailed out.
I meant last year. I felt like
Yeah.
we relied on.
I feel like, but like this season, we're not getting really bailed out.
Yeah.
We're earning our goals as a team, doing really well.
And we're averaging 2 goals a game, which is like not usual. But again, Charlie, we have like he said, like you were telling me earlier, we've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games, right?
Yeah, 6 goals in the last 2 games, which is not great.
Not great, but the ruthless and intensity of our team to like come back.
Yeah,
Just man, these
it's good. But,
last
I
2
mean,
games have been
but
so
I mean,
fun to
it-
watch.
It's not the
Yeah.
it's not what you want to see out of a first place team. Like conceding 3 like that, it's just
We need to fix those
Yeah,
flaws like
there's-
now.
And
a lot needs to be fixed.
I think like there's been a lot of goals this season, and I've heard people talk about it how like we shouldn't blame McMath, but I think this game was very heavy errors from McMath that led to this game. And I think the game would have been played out a lot differently if it
I
wasn't
mean,
for
he's
those.
an experienced keeper too. I really
Yeah, just unfortunate. I mean, it happens. There's humidity. It's hot. I get it. Like
No
everyone's.
excuses.
I guess we'll fast forward to the 56th minute. Their keeper throws a crazy ball to the 20-year-old Ecuadorian Patrick Delgado. He
he got the assist from it.
Yeah, the
That's-
keeper did get the assist, which is
that's
crazy.
There was a great kick from the keeper.
Yes, Delgado was running. McMath goes all the way to the end of the circle at center field. He tries to clear it. All he needs to do is hit it
No,
forward.
He wasn't even trying to clear it. He was trying to give it a pass to the right side to Brody.
Because Ojeda was so close, and I wish he did just
So
slide tackle him.
McMath needed to go forward, to the left, or to the right out of bounds, and he did to the right short, which
He
was
whiffed
horrible. Delgado takes it off the head, one touch, another dribble. He didn't even take a dribble, just right off the head, right ahead of him. I wish Ojeda would have slid. I know that's a scary tackle, but I feel like I trust Ojeda to take that.
Honestly,
McMath starts hauling back, and Delgado it literally looked like that Cole Bassett goal. Like from so far, just an empty net. It's just
random
unfortunate.
question. Would you have been happy if he, I don't know, took a slide tackle, maybe causes a red card penalty to, I don't know, maybe
Uh,
stop a potential goal if
No,
McMath saves it?
I'm glad he didn't because I don't think we even come close to tying this
Yeah.
game if he does.
Yeah.
Because the momentum was all Dallas. And then literally 2 minutes later, Areola gets a nice goal. Just that was a clean goal. I will give it to him. That goal wasn't off as many errors. Ojeda did fall. We'll get to Ojeda and Anelli's performance, but Catranis also needs to play back. That third goal, Catranis was way too far forward. Areola was left alone, basically. Just slots it by McMath, and we're down 3-0, which is a weird feeling because we haven't been down 3-0 all season.
It happened so fast, and it just made me think, right to Ethan's point. 3 points creates great insurance, and it's like, yep. So we're basically not looking too
especially
hot.
that far in the game.
Oh
Like
my
at that point, 3
Yeah.
goals.
It
Is
was
like
the 60th.
strong,
30
strong
minutes is a
insurance.
long time, as we know.
It is crazy that we came back, dude.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel like all of us watching the game, it was done. Like Ariel's celebration, saying like "Bring it on." It was
Oh my
just
gosh.
we were down
But
in the
that makes the
dumps.
comeback feel even.
In their match
Better.
unis.
Yeah. So basically, we haven't made subs yet. Crooks sends a gorgeous ball to Gomez. A gorgeous ball down the right side. Gomez outright beats his defender, and no one marks Luna. And Gomez just is a nice back pass to Luna for like an easy goal. Luna hustles for the ball, gets it right back to the center line. You saw Vera clapping him on right there at the goal. And it felt like we were back in business. We were like, okay, we're only down 2 because we scored in like 2 minutes after that last goal. So Hanelli comes off. Palacio comes in.
Ojeda came off.
Yeah, Ojeda came off too. But
Chang.
Oviedo came on too.
Nelly coming off surprised me.
And
He
and
had a
Nelly
rough
and Ojeda
game,
had
though.
bad games.
Yeah.
They both
And
had bad games.
I think if we want Anelli to reflect on this game and get in shape for these next 2 games, I think it was smart to get him out. And I think
Yeah.
it's good to see Palacio.
I was so proud of our subs. They came in and just played
They
so
brought
well. Fidel, Chang,
They had a good
Oviedo.
mindset coming in. They knew what they
Oh,
had
we-
to do. They were
And
Our
smart.
RSL was-
Palacio had the best game of his life.
Our depth is really surprising to me this season.
And it's always like 1 week it's like we have no depth, and then 1 week it's like, oh, that depth's pretty good. But I feel like RSL just never got down. Like you saw the body language from all the players. There was never like we lost.
We
I
never
feel
were.
like most
we
of the players
never
weren't like
yeah.
just like throwing their
Might have
hands
been a
up, like,
shock.
what is happening?
Like being
Except
down
for
3-0 like that.
and we never replaced Ojeda or Nelly.
I
Like
know.
both of them at the
the
same
only
time.
person I really
So
saw like kind of having like bad body language was Quentin.
Yeah,
Like,
Quentin was
towards-
upset, but I do like him having that leadership role where
Yeah.
he does show his emotion because
Yeah.
I feel like
he communicates a lot too.
like
which
some
is really
players, like no offense, but sometimes Brody can just get like walked all over. Like I feel like he doesn't bring that leadership or communication. I mean, I'm not on the pitch, of course, but like body language wise, I feel like Quinn brings that leadership.
good. Brody's not what he used to be, and we know that. But I think
I
in the
trust him.
summer market, maybe
I-
we'll look for a new right back.
Yeah, but 70th minute, our substitutes are gone. I think it's a great coaching decision because when you're down 3-1, you just got to go balls out. Like you gotta, I don't know.
And those 4 guys had 100% energy.
You got to make a big decision like that to sub 4 players at the
Yeah,
same time.
but 70th minute, Musa gets a really good look. He skies it, and he can't believe it because I feel like he knew that would have put the game away.
Yep.
And, like, I don't know. Musa, he looked good, but he didn't, I don't know. He couldn't score, obviously. But 72nd minute, Palacio gives a nice ball to Chang, who finds a nice, not through ball, but just a back pass to Julio. No one was marking him. And from outside the 18, he gets, in my opinion, it was goal of the match day. It was just upper 90. Like, he brought the energy. He was telling everyone to get up after that
goal. Of the
goal.
week material.
One of the best goals I've seen.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we're down 1. And it's like, this game is very reachable. Like, I don't know.
I knew we were going to do it at that point. I just knew
Yeah.
it. I was like, we're going to get a game time goal with how we're playing. And it's a rope. Julio's playing so good. Like that it's like what we talked about with whether he should have given that ball to Chicho last game.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you know what? It's so good that they gave him that motivation because like that goal he whipped
That's true.
in,
Confidence to take that shot and
so
like,
good.
Dude, it makes you just remember, like, these guys are professionals.
Yeah.
And, like, the fact that, like, Julio gets so much shade thrown at him, and it's like he can just whip that out. And I don't think a lot of players on our team can whip that out.
I wouldn't
It's
imagine a lot
unsavable.
of people just that's a beauty of a goal. I mean,
Yeah, that was a screamer. It had us on our feet. We
goalkeeper
were.
was even positioned towards the right. He didn't have to
Exactly.
go very far.
I think
to-
we were standing up for that last 20 minutes of
Yeah.
the game after that bang. Yeah, goalkeeper's not saving that. Even the announcer said you could put 8 keepers there, and they won't say that. But, 73rd minute, RSL has some life. One thing I do wish RSL would have done is maybe trade. We didn't have any subs, but I wouldn't have minded seeing Chicho go out because I feel like down 3-1, it's like you kind of just want to Hail Mary, like try to get that win and save Chicho for Wednesday and Saturday. But, I mean, he played all game.
And he brings that leadership. And, like, when your top striker's the leader on the field, it's going to give you so much motion.
It's
Like,
true. And the announcer of this game, I
You
feel
would
like
have wanted to see Chicho go out, even if he like is our even as our lead goal
Yeah.
scorer.
I think he was
create a lot
gassed.
of chances.
Yeah. Yeah, he did it look like he had a few knocks. It'll be interesting to see like if he will play Wednesday, but he was down a
He'll
lot
be
this
ready.
game, I feel like. It might have just been a conditioning problem because it's hot there, obviously, and it's
he needs to play every game if he's going to get MVP or Golden Boot, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's healthy and he's playing really well because, like, not to catch up, but to stay with it, he needs to play every game.
Yeah. And then honestly, RSL just couldn't really connect. There was a lot of playing out the back those last 20 minutes, but then 90th minute comes. Our friend group likes to place bets, not bets, but like we like to guess how much stoppage time there'd be. I think my guess was like 4. I think the highest was like 5, and then we got 8, and we were
Never
like,
would have thought it'd be 8.
that's plenty of time.
Yep.
Obviously, went to 97 and 40. We had 20 seconds left in the game. Julio sent a nice ball to Palacio from outside to 18, and it looks like he just passes it in. Like, just a soft touch, it deflects off a
One of the defenders.
FC Dallas player's
Mhm.
ankle and back of the net. And if
All of them
you
fall to their knees.
yeah,
They're
if you see
so-
the FC Dallas players' reaction, it's like they just lost the MLS Cup. Like, they were
Yeah.
like, keeper was like, why? Like, everyone's on their knees laying down.
Yeah, I don't blame
Pablo
him.
Mascheroni.
They put in their 19-year-old center back,
Yeah.
and he's looked so young. Comes in, first 5 seconds, yellow
yellow
card,
card, yep.
immediately. Like,
I
it was
cannot
so funny.
imagine-
He's their homegrown, too.
I cannot imagine being an FC Dallas fan at this game.
That's
So
I
many
would-
people had Luka Doncic jerseys on in,
Oh.
in that stadium. Like,
reading some of the comments on the FC Dallas, like you could tell that was
I
the
know.
hive mind.
they didn't
minds.
even
They were
post their final score. Like, can we talk about media
didn't?
teams? Like, they're not
I
nowhere
wouldn't
near
either.
ourselves.
I don't
If
think I would've.
RSL blew a 3-0 lead, I'd be livid.
It'd be a hard week.
It'd be hard to make this podcast, I'll tell you that.
I know. We thought that. When we went
Yeah,
down 3-0, I'm
we
like,
were
this
down,
is the
like,
most
this-
embarrassing
this
thing as a
podcast-
number 1 seed losing 3-0 to Dallas.
Yeah,
But,
this
I mean,
podcast episode is going to be terrible. But
all
I mean,
all
hey,
the comments, dude.
it just means we got grit. Like, we have some battle this season. We do not give up.
I don't know if that's a showing of like how
Yeah.
we've been all season, battling to the very, very
Dude,
last 10 seconds. I
I
don't know if that's
know.
a showing or if that's a worse showing on us for going down 3-0. like
But
that.
we've been on the other end. We've conceded some last-minute game tires.
Yeah.
Like 3,
Yeah.
I think, like last stoppage
It's LA
time
Galaxy game.
goals that tied up, which is LA Galaxy, Minnesota,
Mhm.
St. Louis was in the
Right.
87th.
I just kind of hope like this team just, even though we tied it, and brought back, I kind of hope we just put
Like,
it
we're
behind us.
so
we forget
good for
about it.
70 minutes.
Yep, I
But
hope
you
we
need-
just forget about the
You need to
game.
give praise to Pablo Mascheroni. He is the man right now. There's
I
no
know.
Pablo out chance. He is balling right now. And after the game, he was so hyped. He's like
Yeah.
fired
If you
everybody
see-
up. And the FC Dallas coach.
I've been watching some Hablo con Pablos on Apple TV where it's Pablo mic'd up during the games, and like he loves his coaching staff. They always
I love
give
that.
each other a big hug after the goal. If you watch closely, Pablo hugs his assistant coaches during this game, and FC Dallas head coach comes over and like gives the most butthurt high fives. He's pissed. I would be too. I don't know if I'd even high five the coach after that performance, just conceding 3 in a row. But yeah, shout out to Pablo. I hope everyone who said Pablo out takes a look in the mirror and realizes that Pablo's the man. He is the reason we are here. The switch up on-
Motivational genius.
I know, listening to him talk. Speaking of that, RSL's game remixes have been like top notch, highest quality I've seen
I
from
love
them.
watching
The
them.
one
Like,
for
I get
FC Dallas
chills.
just came
Yeah,
out.
they're so good.
I know, I gotta watch the FC Dallas one, but check those out if you haven't. But RSL ends up tying it up 3-3, get 1 point. I'd say we sit pretty right now in first place with 29 points because of a lucky tie from Minnesota United. They were down. They were up 3-1 against Colorado, and Colorado came back storming back. So it's nice to see Minnesota tie and still sit 4 points behind us.
We're getting lucky with those ties, dude. Every
I
time I
know,
see Minnesota tie and Colorado, it's like
Yeah, and then LA
that's good.
Galaxy, who's in third place, who's played the same amount of games, is sitting 4 points behind us too. So I think we're in a good position.
Scrolling through,
We need to pick up 6 points this Wednesday and this
Yep.
Saturday.
scrolling through our matches, like for the rest of the season, excluding Leagues Cup, we do not have that many games to go.
I know
know.
I know the season's flying by.
This is the stretch of the season where like everything counts, especially a tie
Everything.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
agree. It's
look-
way better than a
I
loss.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last episode or a few episodes before that when we were talking about how we have.
push her off. Push her off. Ginger,
Dude, she just jumps her way up there, dude,
just
like half the time.
scoot in so she can't jump off.
I'm sorry. Okay. I remember we were talking about if we'd get these next 9 points.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys all said
I
we're
said
getting
9
9
points. I
points.
didn't think we'd drop points to FC Dallas.
Who's tired,
I was
too.
really I was really
I do
counting
think-
on that just being a quick game we go through.
Yeah,
Either
and
hand it to them or just get a quick 3 points from a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope we just forget about that game.
it seems like we mention this every time whenever we tie because we haven't lost, like we haven't covered a loss on this podcast, which is pretty funny. But we always mention if we dropped 2 points or we earned that 1 point, and I think this game was a clear we earned that 1 point because going down that early, it's not like you've got to fight to get back in it. It's not like, oh, we should have won this game. Like obviously we should have, but like when you're in the moment, you gotta crawl back.
Hearing
But
you say we haven't covered a loss on this podcast makes me superstitious. We have to record
Gotta-
every week.
gotta knock on wood.
Oh, we will.
Looking at
You're a RSL fan no matter loss, win, or tie.
Real.
Looking at some stats from this game, we did control the ball 60% of our ball possession compared to their 40. Our expected goals was 3.1, with theirs being 1.6. So that means we're doing something right. I think so. I mean, it's more like they're doing something wrong. Total shots, we had 20 to their 13. We had 8 big chances to their 4. We did miss more big chances, obviously, because that's where it comes from. Accurate passes, we clear them with almost 200 more passes. Less fouls. I think it was great. None of us got a yellow card. I don't keep track of the good behavior, but I know that I think Chicho went down to 3 yellows now because of his
Oh, good.
3 games in a row without a yellow.
Yep. Luna had a really good foul mob rating.
Yeah, Luna had a great game. I think he's really finding him comfortable. Like that first goal, like I was saying earlier, it feels like we can just create chances when we want to. I mean, it obviously looks like that from a fan standpoint, but I feel very comfortable getting those chances. Like the goal scoring department is definitely not a problem this year. I think it's just about conceding. And I think that's why we had such a good start because of our defense, but now it's like 6 goals, back-to-back games. I think it's time to worry a little bit about that.
Defense has got to lock in.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, score goal differential counts a lot. So
Yeah.
we
we
especially when down 2 games to Minnesota.
Yeah.
It comes to it.
Yeah, luckily we still sit at plus 13. Nothing changed there, but I mean, Inter Miami is just still Inter Miami and FC Cincinnati. I always keep an eye on their games because it's just the supporter shield race.
That was a really good. That was a very entertaining game. FC Cincinnati's.
Oh, versus Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, but goal differential is definitely important. We are still the only team in the Western Conference with positive double-digit goal differential, so we're scoring well. I think we just got to worry about conceding now. We have a tough task this Wednesday going into Lumen Field against Seattle. I don't know if there will be any injuries for Seattle. It looks like Leo Chu might not be playing, which is a good sign.
I think he's still hurt from the last time we played. Remember when he was sitting on the little sideline?
Oh, yeah, he did get injured in that game.
Like, man.
You got injured from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember
Like
when he was
early.
rolling around?
Oh. Yeah, I do.
Luckily,
He just
Vera.
looked over and he's on the ground.
Yeah, Vera should be back for this one, which I
Good.
think will be good. But, I mean, playing on turf is always tricky. RSL doesn't seem to have too big of a problem. I mean, we went into Vancouver and got a nice win on turf.
What was
with
the team
missing
that plays
some
on
pieces.
a baseball field right now?
Yankees. Or
New
New York City
plays
FC.
on it.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at 3rd in the East, which is nuts. I was listening to an MLS podcast extra
Really?
time today, and they were talking about how New York is just creeping up, man.
That's
But,
crazy.
For our injuries, we're looking pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicho plays limited minutes during this game, or we just see a little switches just because the turf midweek match. But I'm hoping to see Vera and Gladbach in the center back positions.
I agree.
I want to get like a strong defensive line that we keep most games because I feel like that'll eliminate a lot of our threats.
Yeah.
Like switching, not like switching, like putting instead of Catranis, who is it on the left? Brody on the left, and obviously Vera instead of Quinton. Maybe Quinton on the right. I don't know, but having a strong a defensive line we keep every game, I feel like we'll eliminate a lot of threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope Hidalgo just comes back
I
really
know.
quick because I like him way better than Brody. I
Yeah,
think he's
I hope he
great.
can get back out there. Our last 3 matches against Seattle Sounders across all competitions, we won 2-0. and then we won 3-0, and then we tied 0-0. So pretty good form against Seattle. Those 3 games were at home. To keep in mind, last time we went to Lumen Field was last March, where we lost 2-0. But we did pick up a win 2 years ago in Seattle. So, and even 3 years ago, we picked up that amazing penalty shootout win with Ochoa in the playoffs. So
I remember that.
I think it'll be a good game. I always love playing the Sounders just because of that little. It feels like a rivalry a little bit sometimes. I feel like, especially with Rusnak and Musovsky over there. But it should be a fun one. I'm excited that it's an away game. We can watch it all together. I feel like it's fun to dissect the game on TV sometimes.
I agree. I like watching it from home, especially.
It's a lot less stressful, and it's just a lot more, like, tactically you can focus a lot on it.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
we do have that 8:30 p.m. kickoff time, a little bit later for us here in Utah, but it should be a fun one.
Is that against Seattle?
Yeah.
How late is the game on Saturday?
7:30. Every home game's 7:30.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, but we do host Austin this Saturday. We will record an episode after the Sounders game and previewing that Austin game, so we won't go into too much detail. But Austin's looking to be in good form. It's heating up in the Western Conference. I definitely feel like Austin's creeping up. Vancouver's getting back in action, even though they did have a loss. But can we just talk about the crumble of Sporting Kansas City? Like, 5
They some garbage.
losses in a row.
Yeah, they ain't got nobody. Polito's falling off. I'm so excited to wear my red bright jersey in Kansas City.
Yes,
gonna
that'll be
be
a
great.
great game.
2 wins is blast.
And yeah, they are awful. They are sitting at
Do
the
you guys
bottom.
think what conference do you think is better?
East.
I think the West is deeper, but I think the East has more powerhouses. Like
It's crazy. I was
Deeper
looking.
how?
Like, Miami has so many points. Cincinnati has so many points. But then after that,
Like,
It's
everybody
like-
falls
yeah,
off.
no.
like
And then-
our 1 to 9 rank,
very
like our
similar.
9th rank is Seattle, and they're not even that bad. But their 9th rank is like DC and Philadelphia, who struggled, and Charlotte in 7th.
yeah.
And we've got the Rapids, who look good, Dynamo, Austin, LAFC, LA Galaxy, Minnesota, and we even have like Portland at 10th and St. Louis at 11th. So I just think like across the board, the Western Conference is harder. But I think like RSL's success is just, I think we have an easy year compared to like the rest. Like the 2 powerhouses, we got FC Cincinnati, we got Inter Miami, Columbus Crews in there, and we don't have to go through them. And now we're going to transition into some MLS news from Oliver.
For the 16th match day, the player of the match day was Luca Orellano with 2 goals and 1 assist. Like I said, that Toronto-Cincinnati game was an banger, an absolute banger, a great game. We'll get you to some other MLS news with the teams.
Real quick on that game, Bernadeschi,
Benedeschi.
he actually picked up a yellow late in that 5-1 win, so he couldn't even play in this game because of the yellow card suspension, which is brutal because
And
I
they
don't-
still played good.
I know, but yeah, Cincinnati picking up a game winner in the 93rd.
We got LAFC beating Atlanta United 1-0. LAFC is looking dangerous, and with Giroud becoming their top striker, it's going to be even more dangerous. And does LAFC come here again? No, they do not.
No, but let's be fair. Is it LAFC looking dangerous, or is it
Highest fall mob rating as a team.
Is it Atlanta United, San Jose, St. Louis City looking poor?
A really
you know
good
what I'm
point.
saying? Like, I feel like I don't know. I know they'll kick it up in a notch. I'm always scared of LAFC. I mean, it's good to see Vela not playing from an RSL's perspective. But, yeah, I think they will kick it in high gear once they get Giroud and some other signings.
I agree. And Seattle's going to be coming off a win against us with a 2-1 win to St. Louis, which will
Yeah.
be interesting to see. And then, like Charlie said, Sporting KC has gone downhill with a loss to 2-1 to the Timbers. And then we got some Montreal and Nashville SC, 2 random teams that when I think of the MLS, is tying 0-0. A lot of ties. And then another good game being a 2-1 win with LA Galaxy beating Houston. And I'm pretty sure Painsell did not play because he has an injury, which is a little bit of a worry for LA Galaxy.
Yeah, that's brutal. Peck picking up an assist and a goal, and that front line is just scary. Like with Peck, Jovic, Ricky Puig with the game winner, actually.
Can we talk about his new haircut?
He did
and
bleach.
style.
He bleached his hair blonde.
Didn't even recognize him.
He still has that little man with the tucked-in shirt that I remember.
Such a cutie. But yeah, it was a great great MLS match day. Inter Miami and Vancouver. I really thought Miami was going to lose this one, but they pulled it out because Messi and Suarez did not play again.
Yeah, without Messi, 2-1 is.
It's an impressive win.
It's the turf.
Miami kills me, dude. Like you always think they're gonna lose without Messi, and then they always find a way somehow. Like a 2-1 win. Vancouver's not looking too good.
They
They
got one win in the 94th.
I think Vancouver's not doing good because they don't play Dami anymore.
That's
like,
probably why.
You gotta play Dami.
Man, that Minnesota game though versus Colorado, great game. Colorado came storming back. They're down 2. They came back to tie at 3-3. Rapids and RSL 3-3 ties this week, which is pretty funny to think about. But that's
Both
good for
teams looking
RSL that they both get 1 point in the standings instead of one of them getting three. But it looks like Emmanuel Reynoso of Minnesota won't be playing for Minnesota for the rest of the season. There are lots of
Tijuana rumors.
Yeah, lots of rumors of him going to Liga MX, and Tijuana is in the same group as Minnesota for Leagues Cup. So that'll be definitely entertaining to watch.
That could be an intense matchup with Reynoso being one of the best players to ever play at Minnesota.
Like I said, we always end the show with our predictions for the upcoming game. RSL visits Seattle Sounders in the same stadium where we won that 2009 MLS Cup. Hopefully it'll bring us some good mojo. We're looking for predictions. Ethan, if I was correct, you predicted 3-1 last game.
Where's the
RSL?
hat? Where's the
Still
hat?
somehow the closest.
Guys, back-to-back weeks.
Put that
Ethan
gel
has
on.
the hat. Just to be clear, he did not guess the score right. These 6 and 8 goal games were not in our radar.
Wow.
But Ethan is the closest. He's got the hat back on. It's over the headphones this week. Oliver, we're going to give it over to you.
For my prediction, heading into Lumen Field against Rusnak, our boy, some enemy.
He's not my boy.
He is an enemy. Anyways, for this game, I am looking for I'm going to play rough on this one, 2-2 tie. I think we're going to just go in there dirty, and it's going to be a 2-2, and it's just going to be a really tough game.
Slugfest? Is it going to be
a gutsy game, and we're going to play, and we're going to get an amazing goal from Cotranis and an amazing goal. Another one from Julio. He is on a tear.
Cotranis goal is wild.
Super
I like that.
sub.
Good trainer's goal. Going
like
over
that?
to me. I believe RSL will squeak out of here with a 3-2 win. I feel
like
like
that.
we've scored 3 or more goals the last 2 games. I think we're bringing that fire on the offensive side, especially if Chicho plays. Luna looks like he's in great form. I don't see why he would have limited minutes in this game. I'm seeing 3-2. RSL squeaks out of here. I'm seeing goals from Gomez, goals from Chicho, and Matty Crook's first goal, baby.
I love that.
You love to hear it.
Over to Ethan.
All right. Somehow getting the closest score the last 2 weeks, even though I was still like a bunch of goals off. I'm gonna go a quick. I don't know. MLS has really surprised me. I'm gonna go 4-1 RSL.
4-1. You heard it here first.
In Seattle is
I like
crazy.
it. I love that energy.
That's
You know,
crazy.
You know, I mean, to say that Pablo has the defensive mistakes fixed this game might be an overstatement. It might be too optimistic, but I think we'll definitely have some mistakes fixed out. We won't get scored on as much this game. Big Math, he'll
Lock in.
He'll lock
Or
in.
do you guys see Beaver starting this game?
nah.
I would love that. I think Beavers is going to put on a
I could
show. I
definitely
think he's
see-
starting.
you could see it.
McMath has had struggles. Let's talk about this. Should he be playing sweeper keeper?
No.
It's just he is way too up. I'm like, when
Well,
the
I
screen
mean,
was
and
going, I was like, please
He
don't
has
be
no other
McMath.
option there.
He's right
He really has no other option there. To leave him in a 1v, basically a 1v1. I mean, I'm fine with it, honestly, if he leaves him in a basically a 2v1 with Ojeda, because he can put pressure on him, maybe run him to the corner so he doesn't get a good shot off. But I think he made the right decision to come up there. He just executed it very poorly.
Very poor kick. And I feel like he's usually good. I really trust McMath from his feet.
He's our
and
man.
that was just a bad moment. I still have full faith. I think he is the better keeper than Beavers. But I would love to see Beavers get the start here. 2 shutouts on the season,
Could
which
use
is
some
great
minutes.
for Beavers. 1 shutout coming from the Sounders. Sounders will have more
That's
of
true.
their Sounders will have more of some firepower with Morris and Rui Diaz possibly starting. But just to remind you guys, sweeper keeper, I feel like it's definitely a coaching decision, and I think from this game they'll tell McMath to play back more. I think it's just too risky after what happened last game. But I don't know. I've never had a worry about McMath playing with his feet until this last game. I think it was just a dumb mistake. I think he'll lock back in. I think it was just this weird fluke game in Dallas with the weather. I think he'll be back. I think that 4-1 guess is a good guess.
Awesome. Should we head into the international minute?
On to the International Soccer Minute.
All right, so with some pretty crazy news, Angel Di Maria, his reported career plans for the future. Firstly, return to Rosario Central for 6 months while living in Buenos Aires. Aires. His family will move to Miami, and then in January of 2025, he will sign with Inter Miami to play alongside his friend Lionel Messi.
So Messi's playing another year?
Okay, so I don't
Yeah.
understand how they have Busquets, Messi, and they got Jordi Alba as their designated players. That's 3, and then they're gonna get Di Maria.
Yep, and they
I
still
think
got to
they-
pay Campana. They got to pay Benjamin Kramaski.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be
Where-
taking a pay
what-
cut
what-
if there's a salary cap.
Yeah, what money do they have to do this?
Yeah,
It's a
I'm so
little
confused.
suspicious.
But,
pretty sus.
I don't.
Yeah, so much
believe-
for a salary cap, bro.
I don't believe Di Maria having that much of a plan. If Fabrizio Romano doesn't say it, I don't
believe
trust it.
If I don't see a here we go, I'm
Yeah.
not trusting it.
but I mean, I can
agree.
definitely see him. But who knows where Messi will even be in 2025? I think it's still up in the air.
Could be on RSL for all we know.
He's not coming to RSL, but I did listen to MLS Extra Time podcast, and they talk about the firepower in Miami. And I forgot who said it, but someone was talking about how like they would love to see these other teams get a high profile player like Messi, like Giroud, like Chicho even, just through connections. Because like RSL, it's got that Colombian connection. There are rumors about James Rodriguez coming here. LAFC, that French connection, bringing Olivier Giroud with Hugo Lloris. Inter Miami, obviously they have a little bit of an Argentina connection, but Charlotte getting Marco Reus, Royce.
What's the connection there?
I don't know, but I would have definitely seen him going to
Must
St.
have-
Louis
must have
with
approached him first.
Berkey.
I could have seen him go into St. Louis too.
Charlotte's kind of like a crazy wild card city to go
Sleeper
to.
team,
Yeah.
sleeper team. I do like seeing Charlotte get that though, because Charlotte's definitely a team that's not talked about a lot, and I think it's good for those lower. But like, you
That would
got
be awesome.
Gotta love
Yeah.
Marco Royce, but Charlotte is a
But
wild team.
you got to look at RSL from like an outside perspective. Like, we are like underdog mentality. Like, we are this smaller club out of Salt Lake City, Utah, Sandy, Utah, technically. That just, as number 1 in the West, I think that's just like an achievement in itself this season. Because like, as RSL fans, we've always been steady. We've always been making the playoffs, especially these last 3 years with Pablo. But I think people just underestimate like the grit we have. You know, I feel like we definitely bring that firepower, and people shouldn't underestimate us. And
I
I
see
think
that underdog mentality a lot in our football team as well,
Yep.
in the Utes.
100%. And I feel
That's
like we
Utah
should,
for you, baby.
yeah, we should just be thankful for our club more instead of bringing it down, because you got to think Chicago Fire hasn't made a playoff in like 13 years.
And we made it 3 straight, baby.
And like, there's clubs like San Jose, they have very little success. Other clubs,
Our
I'm
next step
just
is
glad
just
we
making.
have an MLS Cup too to talk about.
It's
Even
true.
if
It's
it's
nice
even if
to-
it's far in the past, it's still nice to have.
it's nice to have that star.
And our next step is just making it out of the first round of the playoffs. Like,
Yes.
if we get there, Charlie said it this morning.
This is
I will be so
very off topic from my international minute, but I want to bring in this one topic. Where do you see RSL's ceiling this season, and where do you see their floor?
With proper coaching and with
Injuries.
without injuries really hindering us, which would very much kill me. I think we could make and contend for the MLS Cup.
I do.
I could see there being other powerhouse teams contending for it. I feel like the image of the MLS from fans that might not care about it or follow it or care about it less want Inter Miami to win for
Yes.
for Messi. Like I feel like
I
we
agree.
definitely have that underdog mentality for going into the MLS Cup against teams in the playoffs like Inter Miami. They like the world. I wouldn't say the world, but a lot of people just want them to win because that's just like the image, I guess, of the
100%.
MLS. And Messi's everywhere. They always squeak in small ads from Messi. So I think that's
Yeah.
definitely going to be hard for us ceiling wise. I think we need to fix a lot of things. We're not perfect right now.
I agree.
Our floor.
We don't got one.
Losing.
We do have a floor.
Losing.
Injuries and
First
losing
round?
people.
Yeah,
First round playoffs. I think that's our floor.
I think our floor. Yeah.
I think that's our floor too. I think, yeah, seed wise, I think our floor is a 4 seed. I think our ceiling's a 1 seed. I
like
think
that.
we can do it if we keep that energy.
Put it into perspective.
Awards wise, I don't know if we can win the Supporters Shield. I want to manifest it, and I really hope.
I think we're
but
the best
I
team in the
think-
West by I think we're the best team in the
Yeah,
West.
especially
that-
right now.
I think that MVP for Chicho is very, very doable.
And yeah,
Or Golden Boot.
I think that's our ceiling too. Is
Yeah.
Chicho? I'm gonna say Golden Boot. I don't think he wins MVP just because of the voting with Messi. I know it's gonna be just towards him, and I
true.
know it's
I think,
deserved
yeah.
in ways. And it's just unlucky that Chicho's having such an amazing year with players like Messi in the league. But I do think he can win Golden Boot, especially with how many games Messi's gonna miss. And Suarez didn't score last week. Benteke didn't score last week.
It's
Chicho
less of-
didn't. But I think Chicho brings that like spontaneous goals, where we need a goal, he'll go out and find it.
With the Golden Boot race, I feel like seeing obviously Chicho, Messi, Suarez, a few other players, like it makes me think of these leagues as not better, obviously, than some of these European leagues, but I feel like it's making more of a name for itself with more stars instead of just having like one big star like Messi who's leading the MVP race by 10 goals. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
very
true.
close
It's
race
tight.
with
It's
Chicho
tight.
and all these other players. Like it's
Yes.
really good to see.
MLS is just becoming so much better. I love it. I would love to see relegation one day and promotion.
I'm glad it's not a farmers league, and I'm glad it's
Promotion.
not. Well, it may be a retirement league.
Yeah,
It's definitely not a farmers league.
This league's getting entertaining. It's getting bigger. I think this summer window is going to be huge for a lot of teams. I think it'll be fun to cover all the transfers. But the game to watch this Wednesday, which I forgot to mention, is definitely LAFC Minnesota. I think if Minnesota can win this game in LA, would be a huge statement win for Minnesota. But I see LAFC winning this game by a few goals. I think their form is just better. But yeah, that game's at 8:45 p.m. this Wednesday. Should be a good game.
Yep. And speaking of big games, Ethan, you want to tell us about that amazing FA Cup?
Yes, so bit of a surprise, I'd say.
Very big.
United, in a lot of ways, had a lot of things going for them. They got pretty lucky. They came out with what was it, 3-1? I can't remember. Hold on.
The win?
The win.
2-1.
2-1, sorry. 2-1 win for against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. The first goal, Ortega made a very bad mistake and led to Garnacho getting a crazy goal. I mean, not crazy, but just like Garnacho getting a pretty easy goal to put United 1-0 up. United fans, I mean, after this win, we're just never going to hear the end of it. God, I
feel happy for Ten Hag.
I hate scrolling through social media, seeing all the mostly United fans.
What
and
do you have
they
against
say.
Ten Hag?
He just makes a lot of wild blast statements, and
He
you know
coached
he's a great
Rubio.
he's a great coach. He's just kind of annoying seeing all his wild takes. But I mean, hey,
you know more than
I
us, so
I
we
think
just
he's
see
made-
it
I think
from
he's
a
made a lot of
very
mistakes.
outside perspective.
like
but
I don't know. I think
He's a good man.
I want Dortmund to win the Champions League a lot because of Jadon Sancho. He played for
Yeah.
United, and Ten Hag put him on loan. I think that'd be really funny to see. But yeah, they Doku got a great goal
Yeah, he did.
to put City just one goal behind. But that was it was too little for them.
Holland
Um,
can't do big things in big games.
And yeah, Kobe Mainu had a great goal as well. I mean,
He's the future.
He's a good future for the England national team. In other news, Cristiano Ronaldo breaks four
goals.
top scorer records in four different countries.
Love that.
Wow.
What was it? It's England, Spain, Italy, and now Saudi Pro League. He's a top scorer in all those leagues. I mean, it's pretty insane for CR7. Really
Yeah,
heats
that's
up the
nuts.
Messi versus Ronaldo
Debate.
debate a little bit. This Saturday in Wembley, Champions League final, Marco Royce and Mats Hummel's side versus Jude Bellingham,
Tony Cruz.
Vinny Jr.,
Tony Cruz's last
Tony
club
Cruz.
Same with Roos.
I mean, it's
game. Oh, he's going to come to Charlotte.
both teams pretty stacked. You guys want to give predictions on that game? What do you think?
I'm going Dortmund, baby, all the way.
I'm going Real Madrid and Pens.
I think it's going to be a close. I think it's either going to be.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
think
be
it's either
close.
going to be very one-sided or
Yeah.
both teams are going to show up. It's going to be very close all the
I
way.
think Dortmund's coming in with more confidence. So they
Yep.
had some good, clear wins, like where they're just the better
Yep.
team. That game is this Saturday is going to be amazing. We
It's
got
gonna be great.
1 p.m. We got Champions League final.
I can't
Real
wait to
Madrid versus
watch
Dortmund. 7:15 p.m. We got CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Yep.
Columbus Crew versus Pachuca. Excuse me. And then 8:30. I'm at 7:30. We've got Real Salt Lake versus Austin, baby. Should be a
Yeah,
fun
great
Saturday.
week. And speaking of some good games, I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah.
Southampton making it to the Premier League
And
the,
Ipswich,
in the playoff.
with the correct
versus
pronunciation.
Leeds.
Yep, that was.
I like that they do a
Really
playoff
good.
for that third
I
spot.
like that too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just random news. I mean, a lot of Real Madrid legends have retired. To recap some, we got Casillas. He went to Porto. Marcelo. He went to Olympiacos and Fluminense. I don't think I'm pronouncing those right. Ronaldo, obviously Juventus, United, and now Al Nassr. I don't know. Benzema left. Bale left, and now Ramos, Sergio Ramos, and
yeah.
Tony Cruz. While they are losing a lot of legends, they still seem very, very strong. I mean, they just keep bringing in all these players, and
It's
it's
crazy.
just
It's
scary.
that oil money.
And and then Notre Dame. I mean, this is off soccer news, but Notre Dame won the.
How they did.
NCAA.
Who'd they beat?
Again?
They beat Maryland.
They
Who
won
did-
again.
who did
That's their
Duke lead-
second year in a
lose to?
row.
I couldn't find it on ESPN.
I know.
I couldn't find it on
That's
ESPN.
the-
College lacrosse is not covered.
Oh wait,
It's
is that
not
lacrosse?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about soccer.
They went
No,
back to
sorry.
back. Notre
They
Dame went back to back.
Didn't Notre Dame win it in soccer last year too?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
don't
against
know.
Oregon State.
But
We watched that
won
game,
it,
right?
But they won
Probably.
it like
Charlie.
by a lot.
They won. That was a Final Four game. That wasn't the final, so I don't know.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right.
Good episode.
Can't wait to see you guys Wednesday, baby, or after that.
Yes,
But we are
keep-
going to bring you an amazing episode.
Keep an eye out. We are bringing out lots of content. We have a great interview with my boy Tino, who leads the supporter section at RSL. That should be fun. Little surprise special feature to that interview. Should be a good time coming this Wednesday. We're also going to be reviewing the Seattle game and previewing the Austin game. But thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, share, follow, do whatever you got to do. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Love you guys.
Peace.
What an episode.